bring one stick of deodorant. I don't bring two. I bring as many as I can. Because you know what? I will not stink at a tournament. Hello everyone, in this video today I'm actually going to be teaching you how to prepare for your first Super Smash Bros. Tournament. So, you have an interest in going to tournaments, right? There's a lot of weird stigmas and a lot of rules that exist at tournaments that you might not know about yet. So I'm here to educate you, with my 11 years of experience going to tournaments, to tell you what it's really like and what you can expect. A few things I do want to go over: what to bring, what to look out for, what kind of etiquette exists, and what variables exist at different tournaments that you might need to look out for that you might not have thought of. First, let's talk about my tournament bag. It's very small, it's very compact, and it is incredibly easy to identify for me. I can say my small black Dickies bag with the spin to pin on it. I used to have more pins on this, but they started to fall off because I keep things pretty stock. And open this sucker up.
Spin division.
What do I usually take with me, and what can I not go without? First and foremost, guys, I don't bring one stick of deodorant. I don't bring two. I bring as many as I can, because you know what? I will not stink at a tournament. You don't want your friends to stink at a tournament either. Listen, a lot of people who play Smash are young. They sweat, we stink. You might not even know that you stink yet, but you need to know, sir, if you haven't showered in 24 hours, you stink. Do not go around other people until you take a goddamn shower. That being said too, guys, toothpaste, my electric toothbrush. I would die without these things. If your pits don't stink, your breath might stink. You don't just want toothpaste and a toothbrush though. Take some floss. I usually get those dental picks that are very cheap from Walmart. I personally can't stand the breath stink. Compared to the body odor, I have suffered through some rough days, let me tell you. But the breath, I'm out of there. So those are the two most important things. Another important thing, take some damn soap, okay? I just have some Dove soap here. This is usually what I use. It smells really good, very pleasant, fragrant, not too bad. Alright, this is one of the best soaps in my opinion. This is usually what I do. Don't take just one bar of soap, bro. So many people go to these tournaments completely unprepared. And if someone stinks, just hand it to them, dude. Hand them the extra deodorant, soap, toothbrush bar. We gotta solve this problem. We cannot be young people going to tournaments not washing their ass and wearing the same fucking pants for 3 days in a row. We can't keep doing this. Wash your ass, brush your teeth. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Me personally, when it comes to hygiene at tournaments, I need my hair to look good. This is Christian S vegan shampoo, okay? It's expensive in these little bottles. Best shampoo I've ever bought. Let me tell you, it's the only shampoo that doesn't mess up my hair. Let's move on to some more practical items that you might not think of. Maybe you're going to tournaments in the wintertime, okay? If you're familiar with these hand warmers, they are some of the best things you could ever have for a Smash tournament. Sometimes in the summer, the venue is like 60 degrees because they blast the cold air. It just happens at every convention center. You're gonna wanna keep these right in your pocket, because if you keep them closer to your skin, they're gonna get real. I don't like to waste a lot of money on hand warmers because I work outside in the winter. I have an electric hand warmer that was gifted to me by a Falcon player from Texas. I don't remember his tag off the top of my head, but we teamed at Low Tier City 6. He gave me one of these, one of the best gifts I've ever been given. Thank you so much. It has 3 different settings. If I hold down the button right here, you can see the low setting, the middle setting, and the high setting. And then if you hold it down again, it just turns completely off. It's really just a simple device that gets hot. It takes a USB-C, which is a pretty standard cable that most people have now. A lot of traveling situations, you might want over-the-ear headphones. Maybe sometimes the venue's just loud, or maybe you just need to listen to music and relax a little bit. I personally really enjoy these wireless earbuds because they're just noise canceling. Sometimes I just like to put them in my ears, reduce the noise. It's very loud at tournaments. Imagine the sound of a Melee player banging on that controller all day and multiply that times 100. that's the level of noise that we are going to be at for most of the day at tournaments. It gets really draining. Now, something that's going to vary from venue to venue is the types of water bottles you're allowed to bring in. Sometimes you're allowed to bring these in. Sometimes you are allowed to bring a regular water bottle in. But I say, in any case, just make sure you have both. At locals and regionals, they usually don't care if you bring in your own water, your own food. But at major tournaments, it really just depends on the event. You're better off just being prepared for both options. Bring your own water bottle, be prepared to dump it out. It just happens at all these convention centers nowadays because that's just a security protocol. People don't really want alcohol snuck into the venue because that's considered taking money away from the convention center. So that's something else you have to look out for. This little booklet right here has never done me wrong. Let me just show you what's in this thing. Some little itty bitty scissors. Sometimes, you know, you gotta trim your hairs a little bit. Okay, I'm pretty sure this used to be a beard trimming kit, but I don't have a beard. Anyway, we have nail clippers. Clippers here. I've got nail file, and I have a microblade for my eyebrows. That's just because I'm usually on camera a lot at tournaments. That's just the reality of it. So I really can't survive if my eyebrows look fucked up or if I have a unibrow. I also have these tweezers. Okay, this kit is so multi-use. I've used it for so many different things, not just for my face, not just for controllers. Sometimes you need little scissors to cut something. I don't know. This is just one of the best things I've ever had. This is also just like a long plastic thing. I think it's for your cuticles. I don't use it on my cuticles. Lotion. I take lotion tournaments because I'm getting old. Dude, if my hands feel cracked and dry, if I feel really sweaty throughout the day, it dries my skin out and I feel like an alligator. Okay, I like to have lotion with me at all times. Something that I don't have in my bag right now that you're gonna wanna bring, phone charger. Bring a phone charger. Sometimes you can get away with charging it on the Wii's, but don't do that. Just don't do that. I have a big bottle of contact solution because I wear contacts. Again, you don't have to do that. That's just something I like to be prepared for. I do still bring my glasses, but it's for nighttime.
Tampons.
You just never know, dude. And you know what? I would really like to see a world where we have this more accessible. I know not a lot of women go to Melee tournaments and deal with this problem. Just bring them. You'll save someone's life someday. Got some gum, great for focus, great for tournament. Hairbrush, obviously. Comb, obviously. I really like to always try to take something to potentially help mitigate any sickness that you could get from a tournament. It's very real. It's a lot like con crud if you go to anime conventions or things like that. You don't want to be caught without this, especially if you have long travels home. You just want to be comfortable. I also like to take vitamin C, but I was just sick recently, if you can tell by my voice. I usually like to take a really big bottle of gummies and just offer it to anyone because every time I have macro dose on vitamin C before an event, I just don't get sick. This is a stain remover. I'm really clumsy, so you never know. One of my most important cords is my USB to USB-C cord. It is the most common cable, and I use it for my portable charger and for my hand warmer, actually. So it is one of the most important items you could possibly have. Phillips head screwdriver. This one has definitely seen some better days. I'm missing like the bottom of it, but it's still functional. It's still perfectly fine. This can be used for controller maintenance. It's also just incredibly useful to have. If you have a box, if you have a square style controller, if you have, if you're a typer, you're gonna want to take stuff to maintain your controller. That is a big obstacle that a lot of Melee players specifically have to deal with. And if your controller is starting to malfunction, you really don't want to not be able to check everything that's wrong with it on your own. All those controller booths at majors especially are going to be completely full. And at locals and regionals, sometimes you don't even have anyone. At locals and regionals, sometimes you don't even have anyone there who can help you with your controller. It's best to learn the bare minimum so you can take care of it yourself. This is a tri-wing screwdriver. If you want to open up your controller on the outside, you need to buy a tri-ring screwdriver. That is the only type of screw that GameCube controllers have right now. That's all they've ever had, okay? It's compatible with other older Nintendo consoles too, like the Game Boy Color, the DS. You can use this if you like other retro games. This is a good investment because they're dirt cheap. Make sure you have the Phillips head too, because the sliders on the GameCube controller take Phillips head. My little petroleum jelly. This is one of my favorite things I've ever started to buy. If you're like me, if you have very sensitive skin, if you had tried the bullshit all the time, your lips are always dry, or maybe your ears dry. My ears get really dry. Just get some dollar store petroleum jelly. It's gonna last you forever. You can just pop it on your lips. If you get like really dry, cracked hands or toes, this is also really good for that. If you just put a blob on there, that's the truth. Shout outs to my grandma for being a petroleum jelly guy. Sharpies. I only have one Sharpie in this bag, but you just never know when you need to write something down. If you want someone to sign something of yours, definitely to get some Sharpies. You don't even really need to bring a Sharpie if you don't want to. You can just get like a marker. It's just something that I don't like going without. This is funny. This is a portable charger. I thought that it didn't work for the longest time because it's just like a really crappy like... This is a Chinese like brand. My dad tends to buy stuff and give it to me. This is, yeah, my pocket juice. I don't know how long it lasts. I would just rather have it than not have it because I travel so much. If I were to get stranded, I need to charge my phone or something. I do not want to go without that. These little lighter charger ports, I cannot recommend enough if you drive a lot, if you're on the road a lot, if you're just traveling a lot, because if you just leave one in your car and you're like, I don't know, if you leave it in your car and your cords are always in there, you're not gonna really ever think twice about needing to charge your phone, which is a really big thing for me. I tend to forget to charge my phone at night, so most of my charging's in the car. They might crap out on you in a pretty short amount of time because they're just not that good. Honestly, I've gone through maybe 10 of these in my life and I haven't been driving for very long. I would still rather have it than not have it. This is a carabiner. I just really like these. They're really good at just clipping onto stuff and just keeping shit together. Like maybe I want to keep my... That's why I have it, in case I want to do something like that. This is like my super comically short emergency cord, USB-C. USB to USB-C. I just like having this because sometimes it's all you got. Either way, those are the essentials. Let me show you my controller. I have a controller case for my controller. When you just throw your controller into your bag carelessly, especially if I were to have literally everything that I just showed you also in my bag, there's no room for it. It gets scratched, it gets damaged. Sometimes the analog stick gets out of place or the C-stick gets out of place and it just does more wear and tear than it's really worth. I have an old top-notch controller case because I just like how the imprint is more of a rounded area for your analog stick. Some people prefer more tight packaging for their controllers. I do not. I just don't really care. I also have a piece of tape attached to my controller case because if I set it down somewhere, there's no question that it's mine because it literally has my name and phone number on it. Other things you can put into these types of controller cases, it has a little bit of netting, so if you open it up, it's not just gonna fall right out. And then I actually have some extra buttons here. These are ball buttons that I just never installed. I also have a Frosty key tag in here, which is nice. It's expired though, it's 2025. And here she is. She's a little bit dusty right now, obviously. This controller has seen better days. I literally have no clue what the hell this is from. I don't know why my controller is so dirty. Anyway, this is a fob controller. I think it started as a JP White, just based on the white cord. And the front plate, I had a friend do some really simple Firefox notches on this for me. Yes, I know, I used Firefox notches, but you guys out there use Box, so I'm gonna keep using my notches. Anyway, whether you have a GameCube controller or a box, I highly recommend, this is your most valuable item. Understand that. When you go to a tournament, do not set your controller down and walk away unless you trust everybody in the room. I have had 2 different controllers stolen. One of them was a black and orange controller with black buttons and a little gold insignia on the front that I used to draw every time that it wore off, that I won many locals in. It was the first tournament where I actually won locals. I got all the best parts from 4 different controllers, and someone at the big house stole it. I set it down for no more than 10 minutes, someone stole it. So here's how you can mitigate that today, that I am definitely 100% doing from here on out at every tournament. Get yourself an Apple AirTag, put it where your Rumble pack goes. If you use Rumble, there are little keychains that you can attach and put the AirTag in, but if you don't use Rumble, I am going to be sticking an AirTag in there. I might keep the weight of the Rumble pack, but just stick an Apple AirTag inside your controller, guys. It will literally save you so much. When my controller got stolen, I literally just wish that I had something on it that would identify it for me. The Apple AirTag is so small. I don't think it'll mess up. This is a fob. I don't think it would mess anything up. I could be wrong. You just don't want to lose your controller, okay? It's gonna take forever to replace, and I get very attached to my controllers because I'm very picky. Anywhere you go at a Smash tournament, it's gonna be like when you see the theater kids at Denny's at the end of the night after a play or something. It's exactly the same, dude. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna be doing another Whiteboard Melee video about Cody Schwab, so keep your eyes out for that one. Thank you for watching. This has been your favorite commentator signing out. Another thing I forgot to mention, never give a Smash player a ride because Smashers can't drive.